course I brought this switched on. Having to press the activator button, what else would you expect?
Howdy do. Okay. We're here. We're here. We're here. We are here again. We're here again. So, what are we doing today? More of the same. More of the same with some more ideas. More ideas. Oh, I've got another idea as well, which I thought of today. I just remembered it. And it's very tempting to do it. Yeah. Anyway, I'll tell you what it is. Won't be in this stream, but if I tell you, I might be able to remind myself. So, instead of having a little digits text as a font, I quite fancy a mechanical display that animates as it switches, like a flipboard. So they flip. Yeah. A cross between a... what's them displays that you have to have high voltage on? Oh, have I got one here? I've probably got one here actually. Yeah. High voltage. But there's a mechanical version that you can watch it flip. They have on boards, billboards, or football matches, soccer matches. And they flip. Anyway, that's an idea. Because this is far too important just to be a bland display. Right, so we've got here receive, green, send red, FPS. That's actually, yeah, showing 65. So what I want to add to this first is a percentage. I think I got the terminology wrong. So I want to see 100%. So instead of saying packet loss 100%, which would indicate 100% of the packets were lost, what I want to do, I'll have to term it different terms for it. So it's going to be, I need to see 100%, and if it goes 98, 99, 97, it means we're missing some packets. And the only way to do that is to count the packets sent and the packets received and examine them, and if the headers are the same, then we treat it as if the headers are the same and it comes back with an answer. So it's a little bit difficult, but we'll work it out. So anyway, I've gone ahead and left a link to Andreas's. Oh, better check we got some audio. Last live stream got cut off. I did about another 10 minutes, and it's a little bit difficult. And I realised, I don't know what happened. I think it disconnected, and then I ended the stream while it was disconnected. So for some reason, must have been disconnected for a while. I don't know. Anyway, so you missed the last 12 minutes, I think. Oh well, what can you do? What can you do? Right, I'm tired today. I've been out and about doing odd bits of stuff. So I've got to try and wake up a bit. Well, Andreas has released a video, M0FXB. He's got a channel and he does like 5-minute videos. It's more of a diary really. Anyway, he's just put some software on at 891, so I've shared the link there. It's using some kind of service that runs in the background, and it's not straightforward. It's not software. As far as I can gather, it's not a single piece of software. There's something else you got to put with it, but go and have a look at the video anyway. Yeah, so anyone who can't wait for this project, go and have a look at that. Well, I'm not sure how good it is or anything. I'm not liking it. Yeah, it might be functional, but I'm not liking it. Just because it goes back to forms and stuff idea. I don't know. I'm not a fan. So that's why I'm making my. I'm not a fan of the Windows-based stuff with sliders and controls, drop-down combos, and I'm not a fan of that kind of stuff. That's more hands-on, straightforward stuff. But anyway, some people might like it. It's not something I would consider really, but it's there if whoever wants to give it a go. Anyway, to that end, I want to carry on with this. So I need to. Last one we added this section here. I need to extend it slightly and put a loss, a packet loss, or a missed packet. So I don't know how to represent 100% of packets have been sent. So what can we call it? The field. What can we call it? It's going to be called. I don't know. Don't know what to call it. Anyway, let's crack on with it. So what else we got going on here? Missed packet percentage. Rig ID check. So what I need to do in preparation for setting the COM port up, I think most bugbear is setting software up. Short of installing the driver, that's done with the operating system. So you've got to put your own driver on. But short of that, it should be able to connect to a COM port, try to communicate with it, and check whether there's a rig on the end of it or not. If not, drop it. But I mean, I've done auto detect of COM port in my main software, so it's possible to auto detect it. Whether you save it for next time, but I mean, in theory, you could just run the software and plug in the USB lead, and it'll realise that there's an extra one been added to the devices. I've done all that before, and then it'll try to connect to it. If it sees the right kind of driver, it can think, right, that could be one of these radios, so I shall go ahead and connect to it. I'll send it a rig ID check. I'll ask it for its ID. If the field comes back with the data that matches, then that's your port basically. Yeah. So of course you probably need a way of setting it manually. So, but anyway, for this one, we're not doing the COM port connection. We're getting the ID rig check ready and sorting out the mixed packets, because I'm getting tired. I can't stay on for hours and hours anymore. So I'll have to do a bit at a time. Okay, let's just get on with it then. Right, so I'm going to run up the program, and Visual Studio is going to ask me for the umpteenth time to update the program. Every couple of days it's got an update, and I'm actually sick of it now. So it's probably some update I'm not going to use. I'm still working on an old version. Well, the old version of the framework, which is probably not getting any updates. So it's not going to say it now, is it? Anyway, so just up here we need an extra icon. And I've got to find out what to call it yet, so we need a text field. So if I just click over here and come down here, so we're going to have to make it a bit bigger. So let's make the background pink again. Okay. Right, so we need we got frames per second. and I need to put the lost packet. Frames, I need to see 100%. So if you see it coming down, it means it's a transmission being sent to the radio, but the radio has not responded. So it's got to keep track of all packets sent, just a count, and received, and if they don't match, then whatever the total of amounts sent and received, you've got to work out, you've got to display it as a percentage. So yeah, my maths is not brilliant, so I'll get ChatGPT. Once I've got the figures there, I'll say I need to work out between these two, well, you divide it by whatever, you know, percentage, 100%, I don't know. I never went to school for 9 months when I was 12. So yeah, I was abroad, and where we was, school finishes at 12 unless you want to go to an academy, which your parents had to pay £5,000 at the time. So anyway, I'll come back to the UK, and I hadn't been to school for 9 months, so I missed a lot of the maths, unfortunately. Anyway, right, so let's add another block, and let's move it over a bit. So let's add the width to it. So I'm going to need a bit more width, so I reckon at least 80 more on the width. So we'll drop this back 80. So 716 minus 80, 630. Okay, so that lines us up nicely over this end again. So we need a similar thing to what we've got there, actually. So let's do that again. I don't know what's going on with Andreas. Is he too busy to answer? I sent him a message a few days ago. No response. Check off. So I don't know. Either too busy or he doesn't want to answer. No idea. Anyway. Each to his own, isn't it? Right, I've lost it now. There it is. Each to his own. Maybe just hasn't got round to it yet. Right, so I need to change this. So this is, I don't know what to call it. So it's a packet loss. Now I want it to see 100% when there's no packets lost. And if you get some mismatch, then I suppose you could call it a mismatch. I don't know what to call it. Send and receive mismatch. Does it matter what we call it? Got to call it something. Any ideas? I don't know what to call it. But I want to see 100%, so we'll make the text block 100%, which means there's no loss. Okay, and I can't see what's going on now, so let's make the opacity. Oh no, that'll affect everything in there, the opacity. So loss, it's not a loss if it's 100%. Percentage of loss. No, it's not right. I don't know what to call it. I will have to involve ChatGPT or Gemini, because I haven't got a clue. Let's go with Gemini, as soon as I keep getting warnings about I've had all my messages on the other one. ChatGPT wants money. Give me money, it keeps telling me. I need money. Right, so I have a text file field that represents well, I can't say it's packet loss. Packet loss, but I want to show no packet loss is equal to 100%. So some packet loss is, say, 97%. What I need, oops, I can't spell today. What I need is a name for the field. Right, let's see what it comes up with. Here are a few naming options for your field, depending on the tone and context of your application. Since packet loss generally measures the bad stuff, where 100% loss means total failure, this is a problem. Reversing it means you are measuring the good stuff. The top recommendations: packet delivery rate, PDR, or packet delivery ratio. Okay, why it works. This is an industry standard technical term for exactly what you're describing. It represents the percentage of packets that successfully reach their destination. Yeah. Link quality or connection quality. Packet delivery rate, PDR, that'll do me. That is it. Thanks. PDR it is then. I can't type anymore. I didn't know you could be dyslexic at the keyboard. Dyslexic at the keyboard, so you type in the wrong order. Read in the wrong order and type in the wrong order. Awesome choice. PDR, packet delivery rate, is rock solid, precise and standard practice in networking. If you ever need help mathing out a conversion, yeah, I will. Yeah, I'll come back to you on that. I'll leave that open because I'm going to need that. So this is the packet delivery rate, and this is going to be packet delivery rate. Nice. We need to move it all over, so let's start by moving it over. I'll just waffle down me tea, or me dinner. If you want to be posh, call it dinner. I just waffled down my dinner. Doesn't sound posh. So let's move this across. So it needs to go across about 80, maybe not. Let's go 200. And I can't see anymore, so it needs to clear the other bits in the way. So it might be alright. Let's move this back over, I don't know, let's say 240. 100%, so it needs to go over a bit. Alright, there's your percent, seems to line up with that. Now this needs to come over a bit. That's too far, David, too far. It's just too far. That's not too bad, that'll do. Now the whole thing has to be moved over because it's just too wide. So, right, I need to make the width less, so I'll come down 60. If I come down 60, I need to move it over the same amount, 20, so 50. Yeah, okay, and then I need to, what do I need to do? God, I don't know. Right, so, I don't know. Width 250. Move it over another 10. Okay, now the whole thing needs to come. That's not too bad, but I've got too much of a gap over here, so we need to bring it back a bit. Tell you what, let's move that one first. So 30, not enough, 20. How's that? Sort of, yeah, that's okay. Now I need to bring, I don't know how far back to go, so it's trial and error. If you don't do your maths at school, you end up doing trial and error. You have to find the right place in the code, make the appropriate change, and run the whole thing again. And if you're a scientist, you could work it out, and you probably won't be able to do practical. You know how far to move it, but you don't know how you're going to move it. So there's a difference. I know how to move it, but I don't know where to move it to. Anyway, right, so yeah, I think we need to move the LED over a touch. So we're not quite there yet. Brackets a second, that's right, that's right. The LED has got more gap there than it should have. Only a little bit though. Might be alright, so I'll leave it there. So I'm too wide, so I need to change the width to 40. Then move it over by the same amount. Something went awry. Then move the whole thing back by 10. So back by 10. Back by 10. And back by 10. And back by 10. I might say, why don't you just use a stack panel and orientate it? Yeah, could do. So back by 10 and back by 10 and back by 10. Oh, and there's more, don't forget. Back by 10. What have we got? That's lined up with that. That's lined up with that. We've got a gap. We've got these two here. We're still too wide. Right, okay. Doesn't really matter. So let's come back to 30. I'll move that over to 80 and move everything back 10, back 10, back 10. This is trial and error. My simple brain can cope with the same amounts of movement. It's just a matter of holding your concentration long enough to remember what you're doing. And when you're finished, if your concentration held out, you should all be honky-dory. Yeah. So let's get rid of the pink background. Okay. So we've got receive, send. Doesn't roll off the tongue. Send, receive rolls off the tongue. Receive and send. Yeah, sounds weird. But you receive. No, you send first, then you receive. Yeah. Yeah, so mind you, if you're working on the radio, the software, yeah, we need to swap them around. I need to swap them around, see what you're dealing with here. The thought pattern of this man. It's mental. Has to have it in a certain way, otherwise he's not a happy man. So now I've got to swap over these bits. So we've got that and that, that and that. So this has to be 48 and this has to be 80. So let's change that to 80 and that's wrong. Wrong. So right, I'm lost now. See, the concentration level is not good. So right, so whew, dear me. I suppose what I should have, I don't know. I suppose what I should have done is leave it where it was. Right, put it back where it was. Change the send to receive. Send. Change the send to receive. Alright. Then I've got to swap over just two things. Cut that out. Put that down here. Copy 48 into 110. 48. And put the 110 there. Okay. Then I've got to move the send. Oh dear me. Over to there and put that like that. So is that right? No. Because the problem is the send is smaller than the receive. So we've got to back the red bits back a bit. Yeah, move the red and the receive back. So let's bring it back 10. So the red LED rectangle back, so 30, and the receive back to 70. What have we got? Close, but not quite. Very close. Right, so we need to move the receive back a little bit more. So let's go 64. Is that too much? Yeah, too much. 66. 66, that's looking okay. Yeah, we can go over a little bit more, another 10. So go over, now go over 5. 5 or 6 over, so if we go 12 here, 12. So we go up 6, go up another 6, 44, up another 6, 72, no, yeah, 72, and what's that like? Oh, we've got to move the green one over 10 mil. So what have we got now? Almost, we've gone too far. So the green one needs to go back 1, 6. Let's try that. That looks good to me. That'll do very nicely, thank you very much. Okay, so we've got our extra PDR. What does it stand for again? Oh, good evening. Welcome. We love people who come into the channel here. Is it Rob? It's Rob, isn't it? Is it Rob? Have I got the name right? Even Dave, sorry, not being on, had a busy few days, looking like good progress. Oh yeah. Yeah. Rob, it's Rob I think, and he does Windows Forms programming. Am I remember right? Is my memory any good? Nah, not really. Yeah, I think that's the one. How you doing? I hope you're okay. Yeah, so we got to a point where we've got a lot of stuff going on, and I need to know a bit more control. So we're sending packets via display now. Each display would require to send different types of packet. Now we do want to try and maintain as much of the live stuff as possible, like the watts, the mode, the frequency, definitely, the span and all that stuff, fast or slow. But then we don't need to do station scope if we're not in it, and if we're in we don't need a simulated waterfall if we're in station scope. So we need to cut those packets out. There's no point I can't sweep across the frequency and maintain a screen that we're not looking at currently, so it has to swap over. Anyway, so let's crack on with this. I hope you're okay, mate. I do want to put one of these videos is going to be adding QRZ to the rig. Now it's going to be sat floating under here on a drop down thing, a little down arrow, just very pale on probably not there, probably over here, and it'll probably just say QRZ, and you click it and it enables a single line entry to create a log entry. So the frequency, the mode and the wattage will automatically go in. Obviously the date and time. Maybe you don't need to put the date and time in. Maybe QRZ does it for you when it adds the entry. I don't know. I think you can override it with the date and time. Right, so anyway, we've got that. We've got the graphics and the stuff in there, the extra bit. So what we need to do now is go over to the class, which is this new packet management class. So I don't know what happened to the live stream yesterday. It cut off. I lost about 12 or 13 minutes. I think I was talking to myself. Probably got carried away and wasn't looking at the screen. I didn't realise it was spinning away and we'd lost communication. And by the time I realised, I ended the stream. And there was no end to the stream. It just cut off. Right, so I need a new variable up here. So we need to track send and receive. So we've got a send function and we've got a receive. So what we need now is some variables. I think it would have to be a ulong or a long. Let's make it a ulong for something different, or let's call it a long. It won't hurt with it. Right, so we've got something we're not using there by the looks of it. Okay, so what we need now, we need a couple of parameters here. So we're going to go long. I always need to track how many frames have gone out. So it'll be current frame, hang on, send, current send, frame count, or packet count, I'll call it frames per second. Okay, we'll go with that. Current send frame count. Okay, I'll just make it equals 0, or do we need to? It's going to be 0 anyway. And we'll have a current receive frame count. There we go. Every time we go into the send, current frames per second plus, we'll just do plus on that one, and then we need the receive count as well. That'll just be down here, plus. Okay, right, so what we need to do now is update the frame count. So we're doing that from our main So we'd have to actually, do we need them public or not? Yeah. Okay, so we'll have to make them public, maybe. Public, right. Okay, so we got the public for them, that's great. So we need to go over to the, where is it? I've lost it, it's not there. Oh, here it is. Cat control side of things. So every time we do a outgoing data loop, we need to not sure it liked that there, did it? Hang on, let's find it. Let's find the other one. Oh yeah, there it is. So we just need to do that. So so we're updating the frames per second, and I suppose we ought to update the count. So what we want to do is actually, where's that going to? Let's have a look. Is that updating the label directly? Oh, it is. Yeah, so yeah, we'll keep it all in here then. So we don't actually need public on them too. That's great. So update the frames per second. And we could probably just do it here as we're entering it. Yeah, let's do it here. So we'll go into it and we just need to do a main window. Right, I can't remember what we called them now. Oh yeah, PDR text block. PDR text block dot text equals, and then we've got a current. No, it's a percentage. I'm going to make it 100 plus percent. Okay, just for now as a placeholder. Right, so what I need to do is I need a formula now. We'll give these to Gemini. Let's give them to Gemini. Hi Gemini. Here are my two variables. I need to compare the two counts and work out the percentage so where's the N? Percentage of, hang on, work out the PDR. Okay, see what it does. To calculate the packet delivery rate, PDR, as a percentage, you will use the following formula. PDR equals current receive frame count divided by send frame count divided by times 100. Since your variables of type long, you need to watch out for integer division. In my programming languages like blah 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 blah, in many, how many, long by long drops the decimal. To fix this, you must cast at least one of the variables to double or float. I can have them as double as you want. So here's you can safely implement this in code. Example values. Current receive count is 970. PDR equals 0, 0. Do it as you suggest. Doubles. Double. You haven't done it. What are you doing? No, you daydreamed on me. Make the variables doubles. Ah, I see what you mean. Right, okay. So can you make me a function? Here is a clean reusable function based on your double variables. I have written this in Java C# style syntax. Oh my god, I forgot to tell it what I was using. Java, you can keep your Java, mate. Java. Right, so there's your variables. Why has it got 1,000? I don't know, doesn't matter. So we want the function. Here it is. Oops, didn't get it. Okay, let's make a function. Let's stick it down here. Public double. Let's make these doubles. On the double, make them a double. A bubble. Double. Right, okay. So are we alright? Calculate the PDR. Oh no, it's using math clamp. Maths does not contain a different. Oh. Sorry, I forgot to mention. Where's the N? Framework 4.8. No need to apply, that is very important detail. Is not available in older. Here is the update. C# code rewritten specifically. Blah 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 blah. Okay. Calculate the PDR. Right. Send and receive. Okay. Alright. Go for it. So, why has it done that to me? It wants me to pass it in. Okay. I'll have to write my own little function then. Here. Public. That doesn't need to be public, that can be private. Public void. Update PDR. No arguments, nothing coming back. So we've got calculate. It's all very simple stuff, you know. Sent. Frame count sent. Frame count received. There we go, and we just need to find. Right, so we need this one to be moved down to here. Right. So we're going to bring back a double. So we can either do there we go. Oh, convert to 2 string to a string. Right, so there'll be one for a. Right, I forgot to mention. I'll show it what I'm trying to do. Hopefully, how to add percent to end. I can do it manually. I want to do it in the formatting. Where's this? What's you can't show? It's because I got it like that. This will format. Yeah, that's right. Whole numbers only. Yeah, we want whole numbers only. Percent format shortcut. I can't see what it's done, so we'll have to just paste it here. Oh, it's just put it on the end, is it? F0. Okay, so if I have an F, I'll just add that to the end of that then. I thought it might be I'll just put it in on the end, automatic. Right, so we're going to update that. Now we don't need to update it in both. So we'll do it. When do we do it by? Doesn't like that. So open bracket, close, open, close, close. Oh, we don't need the close. Right. So that's that. Where do we put it though? Where do we want to put it? This happens every. Well, the send always goes out, so the receive might never happen. So we need to put this in with the send, just here, and we get the very latest entry into it. So it gives. Right, is this going to work? Who knows? Let's try. Build has succeeded, so let's give it a go. Then we can crack on with something else. Right, there you go, 99%. 100%. How can it be 100% from 99? Oh, maybe there was a lag. Maybe it sent it. I don't know. That's weird, wasn't it? Alright, 64 frames. It's a nice round number. Then we got 100%. So if I turn the radio off, I think it still communicates with it. I think it still goes. Let's turn it off. Ah, it's dropping rapidly. Yeah. So I'll get it down to 80, I'll switch the radio back on. Right. Now, it shouldn't never go up. Oh, it should go up. As the more packets... See, the problem is you've not got a frame of reference. How many packets have been sent? Does it matter? Obviously that'll go higher the longer it goes on. So it'll give you an overall percentage. So if we increase the speed too much, it should start losing packets. But there, we haven't done a comparison yet, so no, we're not matching. We've got to match what is being sent and what's being received. Yeah, we've got to match the header and what we're expecting, because at the minute anything can come in. It's just saying I picked one up, might be in the wrong order. So right, so there's a little bit more to this than meets the eye. Anyway, it's time for me to have a sup on this drink. So what are we going to play? Let's play that one.
Only by computer could they be calculated and for the first time pictorially described.
You cut me to the quick, I was still drinking. Right.
State your program requirements. They will be implemented when capacity is available.
I think it's time for a shandy. I put some lemonade in the fridge. Wasn't in there, so it wasn't getting cold. Right. Oh, so tired after working all day. What I need is a few thousand subscribers. No, more than that. Millions. Then I can stay at home and quit the day job. Anyway, yeah. Yeah. Anyway, right. So update the SDR. That's not going to be enough. That's okay, but we're not going to match in. We need to find out whether we got matching. I mean, we've got a bit of a. I can't remember where we've got that stuff going on. Console, right, so it is actually sending it. We've already got the routine somewhere. Where is it? I can't remember where I put it. God knows. It's like looking for a needle in a haystack. Ooh. Right, I don't even know what the name of it is now. So it's print console debug. Oh, here it is. Here it is. So it's printing that on the send, and it's finishing it off on the receive. Yeah. So what I need to do is there's the serial message. So what I need to do is actually I need to remember that the last one, because the send will come first. So I need to remember that variable, or the start of it, or remember the two. So let's just remember the two. So if right, the send query, now that leads to be, is that a packet management? Yes, packet management. So let's create two more variables here. String current send message string, current send string, cat message, current send cat command. Right, so we go equals a string empty, and we want a current receive cat command string empty. Oops. Okay, so we've got the two variables. These gonna have to be public, unless we send them in. So there's different ways of doing the same thing, you see. There's loads of ways to skin the cat. skin the cat. Not as I do skin a cat, but you know, it's just a saying. Don't get offended. It's just a saying. Right. So main window, packet management dot current cat command, send cat command equals a query equals query. Okay. We need the other bit that's down here. Oh, that's not going to work. I'll move it in a minute. Current receive cat command equals, there we go, but it needs to be outside this debug line, because if I turn the debug off it's not going to work. So we need to make sure it works. Right, so we've got it there, and we need to move that out of there, put it here. We're not updating the UI, so that's fine from that. Here won't be, if it need to, well, we'll see. Right, so we've got our packet management. The commands are being sent. So when we do our comparison, we need to check. Yeah, it only increments the count. Now if they're the same, we're going to strip out the header, the front cat command, 2 characters, compare the two. Yeah, because the radio will never send the software 2 characters with a semicolon, because that's asking a radio for something, so it'll never send that. So it'll only be, yeah, so we can wait for the response. We'll be back. Will it ever send that? It might do, if that's the answer it comes back with. I don't think it does. Well, we'll see. So if it does, there's a problem. We might have to read the whole thing. So calculate the PDR. That's going to calculate the PDR. Packet. So I don't know what it means now. I could have put it there. Let's find out what it means. I forgot. Where's it gone? Come back. Always forgiven. Where are you? What? Just half waffle on about stuff. Package delivery rate. Packet delivery rate. Right. Packet delivery rate. So that's what it means. What's all? Right, where's that come from? Right, packet delivery rate, there it is. The packet delivery rate as a percentage, right, okay. So update the PDR, so we need to check something. So before it adds it to the count, now is this going to, if it's equal to, then add it, yeah. So we need a function here, so we need to not add it straight away. Update the receive, so we can't do it on the send, because we would only sent something, we wouldn't have received it, so we have to do it on the receive. So we're updating the percentage on the send. No, we shouldn't be doing that on the send. Oh, we do, yeah. Yeah, because we might never get a response back from the receive, so which means this function will never be run. So when it's run, so we're updating it from there. but that will always miss B1 behind. So what we need to do is probably do it. If we never get a packet back, yeah, that's okay. So it needs to be done down here. We need another routine then here. Okay. So this one is going to be a private. Private void. Do we need to? Yeah, void. And it needs to calculate. It's not really a calculation, it's just compare. Compare. Received. Oh, sent. Sent. And sent and I never like writing and in a title. Compare sent, received, sent, received, packets. I don't know. Call them packets. No, cat commands. Compare sent, received to cat commands. That'll do. We don't need to pass anything in. So we need to do something, so we need to do that when we update the received. Probably here. I need to do that. Compare sent, received, cat command. Frame count shouldn't be plus there, so I'm going to have to take that out there. I'm going to have to do it down here. Right, so we need to compare it. Well, I'll tell you what, we'll make it into a bool. Make it into a bool and we'll return a bool. Bool. Cat commands matched. Cat commands matched. No. Sent, received, cat commands matched. Alright. Equals false, even though that's what it is when you throw return. Send, that's it. So we need to compare something there. So we need to do a substring. We need to check both of them if they contain a semicolon. I think that's already been done now. Over it. It's already been done. Yeah. Maybe. Okay, let's presume it's already been done. You know what a presumption is, don't you? We could do a final check. Probably for nothing though, but I mean, yeah, we could do a check. Right, so well, no, we don't need a for each, so let's tell it about tell it what we're doing. I have two variables that will contain a cat command. The send one will be something like FA colon the receive one will be something like FA014 252 500. Oops. I want to check the first two characters. I want to actually not check, compare. Compare the first two characters in both. Wait, that's how we compare. Right, okay. Compare the first two characters in both. And also check if both ended with a semicolon. Then out return, hang on, return a bool. Right, let's give it the boilerplate. Here is a complete functionality to your .NET. Since you're working with cat command, common use, rams, radio, transfer control, managing string lengths and exact character position is critical to prevent the application from crashing if the command comes back with empty or malformed. Compare sent received cat commands. Safety check, ensure neither string is null or too short. We need at least 3 characters for something like FA. Okay. Check if both strings end with a semicolon. Ends with, yeah. Compare the first 2 characters of both strings. Yeah. Okay. Bool prefix match equals send prefix equals whatever. Oh, that's some fancy shit. Return both with both end what? Return true only if both conditions are met. Okay. That'll do me. Dear me, that'll do me. Right, so we'll just replace that with this one. Sent command, it doesn't know what they are, even though I thought probably maybe I didn't paste them. Right, so it's, yeah. Okay, sent command left, length, sent command, right, receive command now. So receive command. Nearly there. Get onto some better stuff in a minute. So that's it. So we need to compare that. We also, if it's true, right? So we've got it there. So we need to do an if. If compare cat command, then current okay, that's it. So if they compare the last ones that were sent, no, we've got, yeah, if they were, I think we're doing it down here. Were we? Yeah, there it is. They're always being updated. So if they match, frames per second, send frame count, current frame received count, current send frame count. So right, they've got to compare. So when we send one, yeah, we don't compare them. So update PDR. That's probably update. What's that again? I forgot what it says. Packet delivery rate. Right, so if they match, so we want a separate one. Yeah, there's a bit missing. There is a bit missing because we got raw values there. We still need to maintain them. So the bit that we want is right up here somewhere, which we forgot to put in. Forgot to put it in. Where is it? Packet delivery rate. There it is, double. Default to 100% if no frames sent yet. Right. Didn't it make us a function? Packet delivery rate. Final PDR. Call the function. Right. Okay, so let's put that up here with the just in here PDR. Okay, so we're just going to call it PDR. Okay, we can do that. So we need to PDR plus. Right, I don't know what this is going to do. Oh, right, hang on. So we're saying it matched, and we're also keeping a track of that's the receive side of it. So we can't do it on the send because we can't compare something we've not received yet. So we'll do it on the send. And if that matches the total of sent, is that right? No, they've all three got a match, haven't they? Well then, is there any point? I don't know. Right. So calculate the PDR. So current. So it won't be that anymore. It'll be PDR. I don't know. Something missing here. Send prefix matches. So if there's a match, it puts a count up. I suppose you could just do it off the sent. Yeah, if your sent count is the same as the matching count. Or maybe we just need the one now. I don't know. I'm lost. Right. Right, shall we just give it I don't know if we should give it back to it. Yeah, we could give it back to it. Select all. Copy. Could you check my class? Will it work? No idea. It doesn't know what the other bits of the class are. Your class structure is great. Start for managing. It will not work currently. In its current state, there are 3 critical logic bugs regarding how your variables are tracked, plus an important threading warning. Typical. Right, okay. Crucial bugs. Current receive frame count never increments. Look at your update receive method you are using instead of incrementing your frame count. Because current receive frame count remains at 0, your calculator will always do, yeah, meaning your... Right, so what's the fix? What the hell? Only so fixed. Here is the corrected robust version of your class. Right, packet management, update the frame, update the send, current FPS, right, okay. Update the PDR, update received. So let's put a dispatcher in there. Update the PDR. Is it going to work? Who knows? Let's just try the whole thing. Instead of trying to work it out, we'll just find the right place in the code, make the appropriate change, run the whole thing again. Take a leap of faith. Right, I've no idea what's going on now. Does that needs to be right aligned? Yeah. That needs to be a right aligned there. So it's 100%, whatever that means. So what happens if I turn the radio off? Starts dropping. We had that before though. So it doesn't really know what I'm doing with the other class. It doesn't know what I'm doing with the other class, so should start going up now as the packets increase. It can never get to 100% because there are some missed stuff in there compared to the total send, so it should never get back to 100%. My drink's nearly gone. So I think I better show it my other bit, otherwise it's gonna get a bit confused. Right. Oh, do I need to show all that? Right, this stuff. Hang on, am I doing anything there? No. So I can just send that. Right, let's copy this over here and see if it grumbles about something. Thank you for sharing the... We have a major race condition that will break your compare, send, receive, count. Yeah. Let's break down the main issue. The last right wins over right bug. So that's fair enough. I don't want to know why. Pass straight into your right. Okay. Update package management class. Up straight. Pass. What's it saying? Serial message line straight into your update call instead of saving it to a global string variable. Okay. Update the class, update your logic to accept the string argument instead of reading global states that get corrupted by asynchronous incoming data streams. So, extra UI cleanup. You wrap in a dispatch in your send inside method we polished up earlier. It's also internal calls. Right, so you've lost me. You lost me. Can you give the you can't do the complete updated code. It won't be able to do both because I want to give it some of it. Right, so here's the replacement packet class. Clean up the serial methods, right. Take a leap of faith. It's a good job you got an undo on it. That's not the right one. Right, I didn't like something. Right, it's messed up something. Your packet class shows loads of red squiggles yes. Cannot find a property. What? Nah, it's just now it's starting to daydream, hallucinate. Clean drop-in replacement. What? Oh my god. So it didn't like something. What is going on here? Top level statement is not available. What top level statement? What the hell is it talking about? Okay, let's try this latest one then. It's leading me up a garden path now. Select all, see if this one fixes anything. Right, so we've got that. We need to do something else. Right, does it give me both or just the one? No. Right, so this is the... which one? Send query. Handle incoming data. So let's replace send query, handle incoming data. Okay, that should do it. So send query. Yeah, it's just got rid of the code. See, it's going to get rid of that as well. Yeah, I don't want to get rid of my comments. So I'll have to just copy it from here. So send query, paste, null or empty. What the hell? Oh. Okay, then we've got the next one. This one here. Oh, it's put it in. Put this one in. Okay. Right, let's save and run it and see how many things are broke. Maybe none. Maybe it works perfectly. Right. So far so good. Turn the radio off. Starts dropping. Turn it back on. So hopefully it's fixed. Okay. Right, so we'll have to take that as gospel. I've got no way to test it any further than that. Unless I stream something back. Right, so we'll stop it and run it and see if it stays 100%. And we'll have to be able to alter the speed. So it's obviously lost 1 or 2 at the start when it. So we need a boot up sequence. Needs to have a boot up sequence, and a bit like the Amiga computer where it boots up different colours and does memory checks and different things. It shows you a picture of a hand in the end, or basically just does a few checks here. It says welcome to whatever it is, FT891S, checking for port, initializing, connecting to a file system, loading up the memory banks and all this kind of stuff. And over a couple of seconds you're in. It gives you a success rate. What do they call it? Criteria. Yeah, all criteria met for boot up. Right, so let's try some cat commands, make sure they haven't been broken. No, that's okay. Yeah, okay there. Okay, it's obviously sending them. No more is lost after the initial one. Let's do a sweep. Sweep is still going across. Let's scan some memory. So we're down to 22 frames a second. Yeah, this won't be right because this is using old code to send. It's going back up again.
Tenho equipamento simples e basicamente foi tudo feito por mim. Só o FTR tenho aqui o pequenino que não foi feito por mim. Agora o alinhar fui eu que o fiz, a antena fui eu que fiz, como tu sabes. Opa, e neste momento.
Yeah, there's a fight between the frequency and me clicking. Now, until I have all these using the same function, this is not going to be telling you anything. There's stuff going on that doesn't use the back.
Не, ну мы как бы символически можем там сказать, вот у людей праздники, слава Богу. А вот не более того, у нас свой праздник.
What's that noise? I've got the noise blanker on. It's not altering. What on earth is going on? Must be the digital noise reduction. The width and notch filter, I don't know. DNR. That's it. Turn the DNR off. Set too much. So I've got to sort these clicking out. It went worse since I told it hit test invisible, I think. Anyway, I've got to take a small break. I'm going to go and top my drink up, and I shall be back in a minute. What shall I put you on? I hate to put you on this interim, but I'll be back in a minute. Oh no. But I don't know where I got to now. So, yeah, we've still got some code in the scope doing, I think, the old stuff. So, what are we doing? Let me just check the thumbnail in case I've gone off on a tangent. Packet management, missed packet percentage, and a rig ID check. Rig ID check. That's the next thing. Right, let's just knock that down a bit. Let's see if there's anyone on VHF, UHF. Let's get some sideband up while we're doing some other work. Switch another radio on, switch the antenna over to the other radio with that's got the scope so we can find stuff. Let's try and find something worth listening to. I'd love to be able to finish this and do some radio.
Reading Alpha Zero, Alpha Papa India, Delta Mike 3, Mike, good luck. Mike.
Right, I don't know. Anyway, so I need to... Yeah. So we need to identify the radio. So we need to issue a new cat control that does that. Somewhere up here. Let's find the cat controls, cat command stuff. Here it is. So we want to do... We might have an information. Have we got an information? No. So we need the cat command for reading the rig info. We need to determine if it's a FT891 or not. Too much noise.
All the best, Alistair. Enjoy the even song, 70 please. Yeah, okay, Brian, thank you. And yes, you came over the 20 to part of that, so rotating that dipole just a touch gave you a little bit of action pitch again in this direction. Alright, 73, Brian, and yes, next time I'll try it from the office and recouple and so on, and you will give it
okay. So we're doing okay, no drop frames. What we need to do is bring up the manual. Here's the manual. So we want the one for radio information, just happened to be there. Oh no. SWAT. No, that's not the one. We want some... I think it begins with I. Somewhere have you seen it before used? Some reason, some test stuff. Information. Oh, ID. Oh, that's the one. Look at that. Doesn't describe what it does. So you send, you read the IDs, all you can do, and it comes back with 4 bytes or 4 characters that specifies 0650, which is that. So if we connect to it and issue it this command, it should come back with the ID, and if it doesn't, you know you're not talking to an FT891. Right, so there's no set command, there's only a read. So yeah, I'm going to pass that over to the screen over here, so I can add it to it. So right, let's find a command that's got a similar structure. Read meter, I think, is one of them. Read meter, yeah. Set structure is empty, yeah. So read the meter. Right, okay, so we've got to get this over here. We've got to add one to the bottom. Right, so this is how we have it, and it's going to be ID. ID. We need to add an ID to the bottom. ID. So this is so we can check. Now we're going to be using this in the COM ports. So when you put a plug in a USB lead, it needs to attempt to connect to it and send a read, sends an ID command. So what I've got to do is now implement the rest of it. So it's not got a meter type, so it's basically going to come back with a 4-digit. Have I got anything that returns a 4-digit? No. Oh, there's a 4-digit. SH. What is SH? Shift results. Right, let's have a look at shift result. Scrolling down to shift. SH. SH. It's all a load of SH. It's all a load of shite. Go up, just scrolling. SH width. So yeah, no, that's not quite the same, but it is. Oh, P1, P2, P3, P4. Nah, that's no good to us. So what's the closest one? It's the trouble with these cat commands, they're all over the place, man. I need something that returns a 4-digit. It's one parameter. I tell you, we can just do it. So I'll go down to here, we'll try and do it. So we've got no set structure. We've got parameter 1, and there's no parameter 2. So we've got to get rid of that. Parameter 1 is the ID. Let's go back all the way up to the top where the ID is gone. Information ID, there it is. So parameter 1 is radio rig ID. So it's the ID for number for FT891 is 0650. Who knew? And it's parameter 1, and it's expecting 4 digits. 4 digits. And it's not this type of parameter, it's an integer. It's just, no, it's not an integer, it's a long, I think it's a long. Let's find something with a long on it. Probably FA. Yeah, there it is. So we need that. Yeah, that's exactly what we need. Sort of. The structure. Right, I've gone a bit of a loss now. So really wanted that. So we wanted that. Copy that, basically. Sort of. So if we just... Right, let's just copy that in there. Right. So we're going to put ID in there. ID in there. And our structure for this is going to be nothing. P1 is a 4-digit character and it's going to return a long. Okay, and the variable it's going to update when it's receives this is not that one. So it's the rig ID. So we need to go over to here. We need to create a rig ID. And it's just a number really. Actually, let's create one of those. Now this one is going to be I'll call it a radio ID. That's it. Okay, so go back down here. This is how easy it is to add a new command. Right, just got to work out the structure. So it's got nothing to set. It's going to come back with a P1 parameter with 4 digits. It's going to be a long, even though it's probably a bit too long, no pun intended. We're going to update the variable called radio ID with a result. Okay, so we've got everything else in there. That should be all we need to do. So all we've got to do now is try it out. So we need to go to the bottom here. So we've got send. So when we boot up, we need a boot up mode. So this is the main mode. Update the rig mode, set the frequency, update the meters. So we're gonna need a check-in mode. Yeah, check-in mode. Didn't go for shandy in the end. I went for some lemon squash. Right. So this is the, what is this one? The mode, the incoming data. Right, that's the incoming. So we need to read the incoming data. So I'll tell you what we'll do is we'll set the outgoing data first, and then we'll look at the debug at the bottom, see if it's answering for a start. Right, so this is your main. This is what it sends on the main. So I don't want to do that in the regular loop. We only do it during the comms phase. So transceiver mode. We need to add a new mode. So we've got, we need an oddball one that doesn't get switched to. Sort of. It's not a toggle thing. It's only at the start. So we'll put one in here, and we'll call it 100. And this one's going to be comms. It's going to do with comms. It's going to be ID, a rig check. So it establishes whether it's connected to the right COM port by finding the rig and asking it for its ID. Bit noisy on 40 meters. Let's try and find some. What we want is someone from Stranraer. Yeah, someone from Stranraer with a pile up. That's what we could do with. Where are they gone? You go on to them and they disappear.
I got Mike 7 Delta. Mike 7 Delta, can you please complete the call sign?
Okay, we'll listen to the people abroad.
Mike 7 Delta question mark. Please complete the suffix, over.
Right, what we're going to call this, this is
Okay, nothing QRZ.
I'll just call it an ID check. A rig, no, radio ID check on 100. Okay, so we've got a special one, radio ID check. So when we boot up, the radio will be in not main. It will be in radio ID check. Now, if we're in, if we toggle the display, if it's main, right? So
yeah, a lot of work involved, and I'm trying to port it out to the iPhone now.
So we need to do a test. If we're in radio ID check mode, we need to switch back to, if we're changing it, to main. But we never, once we're in main, we never want to go back to radio check. You only check it upon startup. And when the check's finished, we change to main. So we've got to do an else if. Right, so when we just booted up, yeah, that's only if we're switching. So I'll do an else if. An else if there. So when it gets down to the bottom, it's going to go back to main, and it'll always ignore this bit. That's fine, that's the way of doing it. Right, that's the way of doing it. So we're going to start up with a radio check. Check radio ID check. So we want to get down to here. So we need to switch case a radio ID check. Okay, so that'll only ever happen once. But we need to send a ID. Send an ID, and we should get back an ID. And as long as I don't change mode, it'll just keep sending back ID at the minute. Let's try it.
Just make sure that the application
have I forgot something? Don't know if I've forgotten anything. I might do.
Battery optimization.
Let's try it.
Off, because you know battery optimization sometimes just creates issues. I just have to repeat this.
Right, you can already see it's responding with ID 0650.
Battery optimization and
so far so good. That works perfectly. So if the ID is correct, what are we going to do? So basically we could tell it it's online. We ought to have a COM port here, COM port, and yeah, confirmation. So at the minute I'm on COM 3, so we could do with knowing what COM port we're on. So we'll have the same idea as this, I think. We'll keep it in a separate canvas. We'll pop another one in here.
A newer version, but I didn't change the version number.
So we need to move it. They need to have different names. So let's take the names out of it for a minute, so we can coexist with the. You're not allowed two names the same.
One thing is going to be the radio
we'll come back to 2. So we've got a copy of that. So I think I need to go back a bit more.
And I think, yeah, I see more
Too
and more
much.
people using it. And what the hell I
That'll
went to
do.
go through with this virus issue.
So we'll have comport
It's just absolutely insane.
and
For some reason we started to get
status, like
indications, and
the radio's
finally
there.
got it, all done.
Found the
by
radio.
Switching from Python to C++ and
Right.
WPF, or then with, I'm not sure if it's
C++?
NUITAKA, and that is now officially resolved. So it's a good thing.
So my comport.
And yeah.
So
one thing I noticed when you share your radio, in general, I
comport,
see your
yeah.
radio is most of the time, if you share it, administration seems you don't give the rights, but with the latest compactor, it's really completely
Comport.
transparent. Really completely transparent. When you turn it off,
Okay, so we'll have a comport.
is really when your radio is idle. And now
I need to move it over a bit though.
Errors that have been taken out. They're really taking into account also the fact when you are connecting yourself.
So we don't want a
with,
red
TX or
rectangle.
master rights, your radio, that it's really gonna lock out.
We just need to know what the
everybody.
comport is so we can lose the
Minor bugs that I
rectangle.
had to take out there. I'll talk to you soon then. So, India Tango 9
Okay,
Papa Quebec
we'll have
Juliet, ON7 OFF.
the comport ID. Oh, why are we... Oh, that's weird, isn't it? Oh, there is a mistake there, look, that's 2i. Should be 2 instead of 3, so let's go back and fix that one. Oh, so we're all on 3. So that should have been 3 as well, should it? No, they should all be on 2.
Once you have given the ECI remote app on the smartphone, the battery optimization, when it's done for always. So because when you do an upload, unless you really uninstall the application or you do a data, what is it called, data purge, then yes.
Right, them are out now, aren't they? No, they're not right.
I'm actually trying to get it into the Google Play Store. The procedure
They were
is
better as they were, weren't they?
ongoing, and apparently there's
Okay.
some kind of a period, like a grace period, where you need to invite people to download the application from the store, from the Google Play Store. And
Okay, we'll leave them where they are then.
And I need about,
And we'll set this other one to 3.
people that need to be subscribed as beta testers.
That's it.
And I might just come back to
So
you
comport
and
needs
ask
to
you
be in white.
actually, do a download from
So
the,
we
from
need.
the store. And once this period,
So we need this to be a. I'll just say
pregnancy
8.
period, if I can call it that way, is
That's what
finished
mine
after
is,
2
but
weeks,
we'll put it in the
then
real
it's gonna be
data.
accepted in
It needs
the
to be
Google Play
white.
Store. And that's going to be also a big
Comport
a big change,
8.
because many people, they don't want to download APK files on their phone and Nico over.
Yeah, comport 8 is okay. It looks a bit too far over to me, but
Please let me know when that was the radio.
okay. It could be, yeah, it needs an extra digit. Might be 8, might be 28. Okay, so we can afford to come back a bit. Yeah, that's okay. Like that, yeah, that's good. The C is, yeah, it's too far over the C is, so what about that? Bit more. Let's go to 6.4. You know, I could do going on Aldi. Yeah, that's better. So, COM8. It needs to be aligned right, really, but that'll do. Then we want to know whether we're connected, connection status. Whether we've connected, whether the port's connected. It will be connected, so yeah, we're never going to disconnect. We're going to try and connect. What
you're
about
always
if it
strong
couldn't
here,
find
so,
anything?
Beautiful thing. I should have made a recording, but yeah, I'm focusing on the speech there. I'll talk to you soon.
The tasteful thickness. What you doing, you cheeky beans?
November 7, Oscar
Boy.
Fox Fox. Take care and catch you down the line.
What you doing? Right, I'm streaming. Are you having a go in your flat like a proper hooligan? Yeah. Yeah. This is a project room. We've got projects upon projects upon projects. Anyway, let's welcome everyone who decides they're gonna say hi. No matter what they say or do, or how, even if they're a troll. I'm not saying you are. I'm just saying, well, welcome. I don't mind. Anyone can turn up. It's fine. So we're doing, we're creating a front end, software front end for a ham radio transceiver. So it's a box of tricks that you can transmit and receive and talk around the world, well, if you're lucky. Bounce on the ionosphere with your transmission. When the internet's gone down and there's no way to communicate, you might still have a chance if they're not jamming the frequencies. You always should be able to find a frequency somewhere that's not quite being jammed. So it's how do you do this in WinForms in VS Code? This is this is actually Visual Studio. It's in Visual Studio, and we're using Visual Studio Community Edition, and it's an old framework, C# Windows Presentation Foundation, and it's using framework 4.8. Getting on a bit now. They're actually up to framework 10. So majority of my code written in the past is in 4.8. So rather than learn all new stuff and get stuck, which I don't think you can now. You've got ChatGPT, Gemini and Claude Code and countless others to help you along these days. So I started doing it when you had to go and buy a manual. You had to go and buy a 2 or 3 inch book to learn anything, or go to the library and book one out, but them days are gone. So really you should just run all the latest stuff, really, I suppose, but it's one of those things. So you built this radio GUI? Yeah, built it from nothing. Yeah, built it from nothing. But a lot of software is based on Windows Forms, and they use Windows controls and inputs and combo boxes, option boxes, and drop. And the radio is such a beautiful thing in real life that I wanted to reproduce. Plugs into the radio with a USB cable, like a printer cable, and you're able to control the radio with some commands. It's CAT commands, computer aided transceiver they call it. Set of commands that you basically, your software sends a command to the radio. This command, the radio will answer back with whatever you're asking for with its payload. The payload could be, it's a horrible cat command library, well, whatever the implementation is, horrible. So this is just a ton of PNGs or SVGs, and you attach those pictures to the program under the hood. Yeah, well, the skin, I went into Gemini and I told it I wanted to create a skin for my program, and I'm creating. I told them what radio it was, so it went ahead and found several reference images, and then it created what do they call it? Some kind of amalgamation of real and graphic. So kept the overall. If you see this, basically I'm adding extra stuff here, but I mean, and the S, there's no such thing as FT891S up until this point. The S denotes software, so it's the software for the FT891S. There's many other software that does multiple different radios. I'm purposely designing this just to do the 891. It will probably do others, but you know, I'm not interested in that. I've got an FT710, which is an all singing and dancing, which you're listening to now. Now the radio in question, this one here, the real radio, only has a monotone LCD display. It doesn't do waterfall or any advanced stuff, but it's a great radio as a slave, and it's crying out for some software. So I bought one. I want to take it on holiday. It's portable, it's a smaller radio. I'll take it away and run the software on a laptop. So what about clicking buttons? Is there an activated or deactivated state for each image button? It's all event driven. It's similar to Windows. Windows event driven. It bubbles up and down. It's quite complicated. You can do all sorts of stuff. I suppose what I should do, if I can, is give you a little demo. Let me just see if I'm in a state I haven't broke it, that it'll still run up. Yeah, we can still run it. So I'll give you a little demo. Let's give you a demo of the real thing rather than the program. So I'll just move some thumbnails and things. Right, here's the radio. So you can drag it around, and you're basically interacting with it as though it's a real radio. You can turn the dial. That's new. Oh, I'm not in the right mode now. Yeah, you caught me. You've caught me. I'm actually in a different mode. So what I need to do is temporarily set the mode. Where that mode is, I don't know anymore. Find all references.
It's really amazing that just a smartphone like this can generate.
Yeah, I just need to take this back to. Actually, I don't need to do anything. I just need to swap the mode. I forgot. Right, let's run it up again. What I do need is a nice icon for this. So I need to change the mode, so I click that and it'll go to main. Yeah. So we're in the main display. Basically, the commands get sent and received based on which mode you're in. In a boot up mode, I just want to identify that it exists. So you can do things like alter the frequency. I can go to the radio and alter that, and that alters that as well. Two-way. Then I can bring up click this button and it brings up a function. I can scroll the wheel over it. You might see it just a blur effect coming up. Rather than animate it, I'll just blur it like a motion blur. Same as that, just so you know it's being turned. So this one, you can click on it, you can scroll around with the scroll wheel, or you can click. You can alter things like the power, which gets reflected over here. And you've got a bit of graphics going on here, so scope, station scope. We can search for things. The icon looks like photos, but it's actually a photo of the plastic composite with a solid infill. So I can switch to a mode, say FM, Switch to an FM mode, and we're on FM now down there. And if I lower the RF gain, green denotes it's breaking through the squelch. And if I go to a frequency, let's go to something where we can actually do some FM. So something like that. Let's turn the tuner off. Oh, I've gone way out of band here. Right, so I want to go up to about there. Go in between a channel. I'm just going to go in between and about 5 watts. I'm just going to transmit. So you go transmit. There we go. G7UIV test only, high SWAT. Let's put the tuner on. Still high SWAT. Probably need to tune that. We're only on 5 watts, so G7UIV test only. So basically LED follows it. So we've got a gradient fill and an opacity set on the plastic. So when it lights up here, it's supposed to bleed into the plastic, which is like a clear polycarbonate, acrylic. So it bleeds in and it turns into red. Well, that's turning into green, so there's some green going around the side. And you'll get a bit of red going in as well. See the red? So it's not as easy as just changing some pictures, swapping pictures. I could have just done it that way, but now the way I've done it, I can have it any colour. I can even have it cycling colours if I wanted to. So it's not really 100 tiny images combined. This is one image of a radio to begin with. Well, I can show you what is a skin if you like. Hang on. Let's just close that down. So we've got the main window which holds this skin. If I was to tell you what, let's go and make the rig canvas, which contains the picture, invisible. Temporarily invisible.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
So visibility hidden. Okay, so you've got, I can run it up without everything, and you can have a look at what's in it. So can no longer drag because we need the surface to drag on. I need to go over to, that's the one. So we've got to find the button. Where's the button? Yeah, go through different displays. Back to the start. Can I still do this? No. Can't turn the frequency. So yeah. So you're very limited to what you can do. Can I still? No, very limited to what I can do. Can I close it? No, I can't even close it now. Yeah. So I need to stop it from here. So that just goes, and I've got an image folder. So that's the picture of a knob. That's a dial. That's the window. That's the window infill. That's the little finger thing, and then you've got your skin. That's your skin there, basically. So you could change your skin to whatever you want, really.
Oscar Foxtrot.
Anyway, so that's what builds it up.
1280, so this is a new band for us.
But if you've done some, what are you programming in? Let's have a look. You did mention WinForms and something else earlier, didn't you? What did you mention? PNGs. Actually, these are PNGs. I do PNGs because they're transparent. That's why. So I can. This is a window, but it's got a transparent background. So if you wanted to have the shadow of the thumb dial change locations as it moves.
Yeah, QSL, Steve. Yeah, fantastic. Yeah.
Actually, there is a drop shadow on it.
I'm on my,
this
phone,
thumb bit here, this you can't see that bit, but there's another piece. It actually got a drop shadow that drops at 45 degrees. So as it goes round, the shadow follows it.
Currently, I'm sitting in the shed that is next to the house.
What did I call that
where
one?
I do have actually my work, my job here. And yeah, it's comfortable because you know I can be anywhere now in the world and operate the radio, turn the
forgot what I called it now.
whatever is required.
Finger
to operate the
indent.
radio,
So the finger indent has got an image effect, a drop shadow.
Send it to the email address that's published on
You can just change the shadow depth.
The email address into the email
See that?
software
30,
if I stop the recording.
3.
But I always ask.
Let's try it on 30. What does it look like when it goes on 30?
Go ahead, Steve.
So all I'm doing is making it go radius round. So he's got a big. See that? So it makes it look like it's sticking out. I mean the white half moon on the thumb dial, that white portion reflecting light inside it. Oh yeah. Yeah, so I'm not sure if the drop shadow affects that. It's the outside it affects normally, yeah. So you'd have to, you can do an opacity. You can change your opacity if you wanted to. So 0.3. Actually, I didn't seem to make. Oh, that was a drop shadow. Sorry, I'm in the wrong thing. I need to do that to the. Oh, there's the opacity. I could change it to 1, so you can hardly see it. 2, 3, 4, 5, and so on and so forth. So it might look. Don't know if it'll look any better like that. Probably not. Let's have a look. So you can do all sorts with it with Windows Presentation Foundation. You can do animations. I'll show you animation in a minute. So that's actually showing the underlying lines like a record. So let's put that back where it was, otherwise I forget. I think it was 9.
QSL, yes, Steve. I know for sure that the Sun SDR is. I'm not sure. I'm going to check
9.
because I do see.
So anyway, yeah, you can change the direction of the shadow. You know, and the blur radius. So I could do 150, 15 or 5. If you don't want less blur. You can do all sorts with it. There's different types of effects as well. There used to be load more, but they've cut them down. There's animation. If I show you the animation, rather than try and depress the button. So rather than say if I press a button. See that there? It's actually. I don't know what I'm doing. I think I don't know what I'm applying an animation to it. It's just a square that's coming up, and it's
for those who are using the TT software. So
that's good, isn't it? You can have loads of them.
I'm the developer of
yeah. So you cheat a bit. rather than actually press the button, you just animate it. It's not quite there, but it's better than nothing. And this, you just scroll it. You can just move your mouse up and down, it goes fuzzy to make it look like you're turning it, or you can do your scroll button. Oh, that's doing a scan by the sound of it. So yeah, just interact with it like that. It probably looks better than what it is actually because of the skin. The skin makes all the difference. It's up to you where you place these controls then. See, that there's the same as this, but that looks too high over there. I was just adding this bit. Yeah. And you can scan, like I can control the radio if I go onto this mode here.
I'm not sure. I know he's using the
Now I'd have to switch the aerial back to this radio and change it back to sideband. So it's struggling a bit, it's fighting with itself, so let's try again. I might be in the wrong mode. Yeah, so I'm not sure which mode I'm in. Let's have a look. I'm in the middle of doing something with it. So I tell you what I need to... Oh, I'm in simulated waterfall. What I need to know is which mode I'm in. So... Okay, so I'm into this one. So if I do a scan... No, it's not quite. It's fighting it. See that? You've caught me while I've broken it. What am I doing? Yeah, I'm actually broken it. Since I've changed the mode, I've actually broken it. Hello, Andy. Say hello to Andy. Welcome, Andy. Andy's into the AM radio as well. Looks good, Dave. He always tells me it looks good. Yes, got a few extra bits since you saw it last. That looks too high compared to that. Now, whether it is or not, it does look too high there. Actually, it's too big. The width's too much. What's going on? Why is that so massive? Yeah. Anyway, let's go back over to here. Can I? Yeah, go. Yeah, here they are. Here they are. Yeah. So what we're doing at the minute is putting an ID information. We're getting the ID. So it'll do a check when it boots up. It'll try and show you if you're connected to COM port, whether you're connected. I've got to alter this still. So we got to about there. Now the whole thing looks a bit too high to me, so let's bring the top down again. Is that better? I know it's only the same as this one, 60, but there's probably because it's a real cross between a real picture and AI generated, there is a drift off as these angles, they're obviously angled the way it was photographed. If it was straight on, you'd miss some detail, so I'm not... It's a weird thing to do, but yeah, it just makes it look more realistic. So does that need to come down anymore? Probably, yeah, probably does. That one seems to be okay, but this one doesn't. Let's come down another pixel. Yeah, okay, I can go with that. Now that one looks too high. Okay, let's bring that one down. Maybe another one. What does that look like? That looks too low now, doesn't it? So definitely there's a fall off of a pixel as it goes across. So I can get away with that. I can get away with that. So what I need to do now is get rid of the rest of this. We've got the com, so we need to make this an X name. This is if you want to access this text block from code behind. The code, they call it code behind. I don't know why. You've got to turn it into an X name, and you've got to give it a value, so a variable name. So I'm going to call this what it is. Com port name. Is it a name? It is a name, really, isn't it? Comport text block, that'll do. So always end it in what it is. So if it's a text block, I always say text block. Then I know what it is I'm dealing with, because there's some anomalies. A label, you'd use the content. Some things you can have a content property, like a border, it has a content. A text block has a text. So sometimes there's a crossover of terminology and it does things in a different way. So we've got com8, that'll do fine. So we need to know the status of the com port, whether we're connected or not. We could do it with an icon, basically a red if we're connected, no, or just a green lit up. Yeah, I'll just have a green one that's lit up when it's connected. So how are we going to represent, what word terminology do we want? And we don't need those three things again, so we could probably just get rid of those three. Let's get rid of them out of there. Okay, so we'll keep the green, and if we're connected it'll be green. So status, connection status, how do we say it without having too much writing? Don't know. Don't want tick boxes. We don't want no UI stuff. Windows UI, we don't want tick boxes, check boxes, option boxes, drop down combos and all this other stuff. Keep that to your notepad. We don't want it. Visual Basic stuff, innit? Forms, basically forms. Nothing wrong with that. If you want functionality above looks, I can get the functionality and the looks. Yeah, so what we're trying to do is make you use this instead of the radio. Instead of getting up your hands up here and altering buttons, and ultimately you'll save the radio. Basically, every time you touch it, you grease off your fingers onto the buttons, and you're interacting it and you're putting wear on it. It's, when you go portable, that's fine, but when you're stuck in the shack, you could just, you've got all your computers open, you might as well just run the software. Yeah. Right, so where did I get to? Yeah, so com port, we need it to say, how can we illustrate that it's actually connected? Just go green if it's good. Yeah, you don't need a red, because yeah, just green, lit up. So com port, we'll just have green next to it. That's it, simple as that. So we need to move it back a bit though, it's too far over, so bring it back and some more. Still a bit too far away. That's better, I like the spacing. Now we need to make sure that this com is right. This needs to be text alignment. Let's make sure the text alignment's right. So text alignment needs to be right, and horizontal alignment needs to be right. Okay, that's just, you can test it just by putting in an extra digit. So COM28, see what happened. That actually spread out. So am I aligning it the right way? No, it's actually encroaching on next door space, so that's not a good idea. So I think we need to align left actually. No, we need to align right. I know what we need to do. We need to give it a width, because it will do weird stuff if you don't actually give it a width. So it needs to have a fixed width. So just type in the width. We'll try the width. Let's try 40. That's obviously too much because it's moved right over. So 30. Is 30 enough? No, it's not quite enough. So 36. What we've got to make sure is we can fit in 88. That's not too bad. But the width, let's reduce the width down to 34. Can we still get it in? Yeah. So we'll have it's just 8 on mine. So it comes in from the right, it stays. The gap is increased. That's a shame. So I'm just thinking, well, somewhere's got to go. Yeah, you can set the max width as well. Stop it bleeding over. You can set a max width property. So I'm going to be seeing a COM8 on mine. So there's a point. Okay, I don't know what to do with that. You could say this is COM8, so yeah. So I need it to grow from the left hand side, but I've got my set property. Set left is set, so I'm gonna have to. Right, I need to fix something on it. Okay, so what I will have to do, maybe do it left instead of right. Right, let's do left. What have we got? So that's not too bad. If I change it to 8, what happens? It moves over that way. Okay, we'll live with that. We'll live with that. Now the green looks too low, but so do these look too low. Let's try moving the green back. Left. We're not altering the top at all. So canvas top. Let's say -1. What's that like? It's not too bad, so I need to go -1 with them now, don't I? So we've got send rectangle top. I haven't got a top for that one. Canvas top -1. Is it too much? It's not too bad. So let's do the same with this one. Canvas top -1. We can create styles for these, but they're all slightly different, so you'd have to have loads of entries in there with the style. Right. Okay, so I'm not sure if that is good or bad, but anyway, looks weird to me. So we'll go with it for now. So we've got our icon that will light up if we're connected. So we can easily do a boolean on it, like an if is connected, light it up. So what else we need to put on here? We need to put on what do we need to put on? Oh, whether the ID, so we might be connected to a port there's no rig on the end of it. So it needs to say has an FT891 ID. Okay, we'll have an ID field, that'll be it. So we need to copy the text block again, and the next one. Let's copy them two, put it in there. It's going to complain. So this next field is going to be the ID. Radio ID. So you might be running the software and you might be connected to a different radio that just happens to support the cat commands. So right, let's just do that then. So this is the radio ID. We need to move it over, say up here somewhere. That's too far. Not enough. Let's take a look. Radio ID, that'll do. And then we want this one is going to be let's say it's an FT891. That's it. So that needs to move over a little bit more. It's an FT891. A little bit more. It's all about the looks. Yeah, so it's an FT891. So we want another icon, another graphic to say the ID is confirmed. So it's an 891. So right, let's have another ID. What colour? Amber. Should we have an amber one this time? Let's have an amber one. Mind you, green shows good, doesn't it? Red bad, amber something else. Keep it green. So we're going to have that radio ID green. Yeah, let's just put it on the end of here. So we've got our rectangle. Need to tell it where to go. Almost. Right, so we've got it there. Might need to go over a bit more. Could be a longer name, couldn't it? Radio ID, so I need to spread that out a bit really. Let's go 40. Let's go another 10. And another 10 on here. Okay. Give it some room. So the radio ID is confirmed. So there'll be some codes. That it's 0650 is an ID. So we should be able to find other codes and based on the code come up with a different ID. Although this is never meant to work with other radios, but if you've got more than one radio plugged in, it might find the wrong radio and try and work the wrong radio. Yeah, so. Yeah, he might have. I mean, I might plug another USB into my FT710, and it might think that's the COM port and try and connect to it. So if the ID doesn't pass, you can say I found something, but it's responding to a cat command, but it's showing up as an FT710 instead of the do you want to proceed? If not, yeah, plug in your FT891. Right, I'm not sure if I like the amber. I think that green. I think I need an amber. Right, let's give it an amber. So, is there an amber? No, so we're gonna go orange. Okay, so we've got an orange. That's okay, yeah. So at least it'll light up. COM port, if it's lit up, it's connected. If it's put the name in and it got an amber, it means it's the right one. Or does it need to be green? No, doesn't matter. Right, okay, so if you're wondering why they're all very faded in the background, they're that way by design. I don't want to take away, and even them are too bright, and the colour has got to match this colour. So I'll tell you what, let's make it match that colour. So I just need to open something to find me the right colour. So I'll load in. I'll grab the colour off something, probably my thumbnail generator. So okay, let's grab a colour. Right, the colour is there, that's good. Close that down. Right, we're going to replace those colours for the text. So let's start with the other text. So there's the text. So it's not goldenrod, that was just a temporary one I put in. So we're going to do a hash FF. Yeah, that's done. Sort of. Yeah. It's a bit, might need to be bold, that might. Font, weight, bold. Yeah, it's not so clear, is it? Well, that's what we want. We want it to blend in. Maybe. Right, so we could make it lighter. Let's just put that in everywhere where there's a goldenrod. So, what's that like? Oh, you can hardly see it now. Yeah, you can hardly see it. Maybe we need to change the opacity up a bit. It's on 06, so let's change it to 08. Or even full on. Yeah, we can live with that. Yeah. Okay, so we don't bother with the opacity setting on the label. Take it out. Default to being 1 and the frames per second. That one. And there's one last one. Yeah. Okay. That's okay. Now the other ones. Let's put that in on the rest of these. Won't like that without the hash. No opacity. That was only to blend the harsh colour in with the rest. No opacity. Right, and is there another one? No, that's it. Okay. You could have a blue light. I'll keep it like that for now. Right, okay, so yeah, it doesn't quite look the right colour. Oh, we haven't made the font weight right. So we want the font weight. Oh, did I set font weight? No, I didn't. Set it here, but not nowhere else. Let's set the font weight on all the rest. Font size, font weight. They're okay. Hang on, FPS. White. No, not that one. Where's FPS? There it is. Okay. PDR. We've already done that one. Done all the rest. Yeah. So now back up to these. Font weight. Text leave that one as it is. The white we'll leave as they are. Font size. That's it. Okay, what have we got? Yeah, we got something, but it seems to have moved over a bit. Yeah, that's moved over a bit. I don't know. We could carry on going forever with this thing, really. Anyway, yeah, let's just move that one over a bit. Yeah, let's move that over to... Yeah, that'll do. Right, so that's that. It just looked weird there, but yeah. So we want to interact with that if we're connected. And this one, when the ID matches. Yeah, so... Right, we want a bit of code now. What do we call the green one? COM port and radio ID check. Okay. So serial port is where we connect to that. So this is where we connect and we open it. We need to do a basic check to see if it's open. So we haven't got an open there. I think I've done. Oh, here's an open. Send cat. So we need to do a check there. So if I do a, yeah, let's do a check here after we've opened it. So we go if port is not equal to null and port is open. Then we do a, or else we do something else. Yeah. So we're gonna make right, so we need to set the, where's he gone? COM port text block. So main window dot COM port text block text is equal to, this needs to be the COM port, so port, so underscore port dot name. Has it got a port name? Can't remember how you find the name out now. Let's try name, new line, port name, there we go. And it's already a string, so it's equal to port name, that's fine. And so we can also put that in if it's not connected, if we've got the port name, but need to do if it's null. else if it's null, if it's null, oh, if it's not equal to null, then give it a port name, because someone's gave it a name for it not to be null, or they started it at least. And then give it a port name. Now if it's open, we need to change the icon color to, which is radio, hang on, which one is it? Rectangle. Right, we haven't actually give this an X name, so we need to give it a X name. So it's the COM port rectangle. COM port rectangle. Actually, it's a green rectangle. Green rectangle. That's how we reference it there, so that needs to go. So you get the name in there, main window dot, so we're going to set the opacity just to, what we're going to set it to if it's connected. I forget what we did the other ones to. Let's have a look in packet management. 5. Send opacity is 5 and back to 2. Yeah. So we're not going a great deal. So 0.5. Okay. Now if it's not connected, oh hang on. If the port is open. Right, so if it's not null and the port is open, so we need to do probably move that out of there. Move that out of there. So what we need to do is change this slightly. So right, we need to get that out of there. So first do a check if it's not null. Right, then we're going to do put the port name in, and then if it's if the port is open, we're going to do that. Else we're going to do whatever the default was, 2. Else it's going to be 2 if it's not open. So we've got the name still. That takes care of that bit, and we don't need this bit anymore. So if it's not if it's not null, if it's null, then we just have to put something else there. So okay, so if it's null, we need to put unknown or something. So an else. So we're going to make the port, if it's null, we'll just make it have to be none. None, and then the connection will be off. 0. We could even change it to red or something, but anyway. So the port is now, so the port is open. We do that, and if it's not, then we do that. Either way, we put the name in. If it's not equal to null, that could come out of there. So text block is name is None. So is that ought to be enough, really? That ought to be enough. Then we've got to do the bit where we send a check over. So we're going to have to go to the packet control. We send an ID check, so we need an equivalent something going on here. Right, so we need to come down. That's the send, and oh, that's the send. Is that the send? Yeah, outgoing. So we now need to do the receive. That's main, so we need to do it up here. Case radio check break. And we need to check the payload. So the payload, so we need to do an if now we said the payload was what? Or the variable radio ID. So we need could do with a static there, really. Anyway, let's build it in for now. If the radio ID, which is does not exist. Why? Ah, I know why. So it's got to be current radio state. Current radio state dot radio ID, yeah, is equal to, the code is 0650. Now that's going to be a problem because it's going to lose the 0. That's going to be a little bit of a problem, so we need to turn that into a so it's outputting as a long. We're never going to get the 0. So whether there's a radio called 650 instead of 0650. So maybe we need to change the payload to a string. Yeah, I think we ought to change it to a string. So we'll find it. Here it is. So we're coming out as a long. I think we'll just need it as a string here, really. So let's find one with a string. Anything coming out with a string? No, nothing coming out with a string. Yeah, that's a problem, isn't it? It's going to return a string. As soon as it gets converted to a long, it's going to lose the 0. Does it matter? Probably not. No, I think it won't matter. So we'll leave it as it is. Right, let's have a look, see where we got to. Here we go. So if radio ID is equal to 650, then we do something. Why has it got a line underneath it? Cannot fall from one case label to another. I haven't asked it to. There's a break statement. Right, so if it's this, it's waiting for me to put an answer in. It's jumping the gun. So what we're going to do is we're basically just going to, see, it's gone away now. We're going to change the put the text in. So radio ID text block. So that's the first thing we can do. Where are we gone? Cat control. So main window dot radio text block text is equal to a FT891. Right, that's done. Now we want the other bit. The orange LED, which we haven't given it a name yet. X name. So this is the radio ID. Radio ID. Now this is the ID. Yeah. So it's right. It's the radio ID text block. So we can put the ID in. Radio ID LED. Okay. Confirm LED. Exists. Is there. Radio ID. I don't know. LED. Okay, it's an amber LED. That's it. We won't make any determination. We'll just tell it what it is. So we'll go back in here. So main window. Oops. Amber LED dot opacity equals which is going to be 5. No, 0.5. If it's equal to that, right, so if there's no response, right, if it's not, else, I'm dyslexic in the fingers, right, make that a 2, and if it's not, we'll put it as unknown at the minute. Unknown. Have I got enough right? Don't know. If it answers... Right, we need to see if the radio ID comes back as anything else. So if it's equal to that, and right, so an else if, got too many ifs, not enough maybes. If the radio is greater, it's not equal to, oh, don't know, if it's greater than 0 and less than, I don't know, it's 4 digits, so 9999, or less than what? Oh, wants that one again. If it's greater than and less than, then it's a radio of an unknown. So it's not equal to that, but it's equal to that. Don't know, what shall I say? It'll be connected, but there's no match, and what are we going to say about it? Can't put unknown, there's not enough rate. Don't know. How'd you say don't know in just a few characters? I'll just put question. There we go. We can prove that by connecting to an Arduino or something. Yeah, or an ESP32 if you don't like the word Arduino. Okay, I think we're about there. Right, let's do it. Build it. Let's see what we got. It's time to 3 hours. It's time to pack up for the night and go and do something else. So build is succeeded. Let's see if we've got something that works. Right, so we've connected. We've got an FT891 and we're amber. So what about, it does that once. Oh, we're in that mode, we haven't toggled over. If I turn the radio off, what happens? Oh, have I gone straight into this mode? Hang on. No, I'm still in that mode. So once it's set, it only does it once, does it? No, I think it's still connected. The ASU FT891 board is still talking to it. So if I unplug it mid-flow, what is going to happen? Here we go. That's still lit up. Has it crashed? Who knows? It's not something you normally do. There's no auto reconnect on this one at the minute, so I'd have to close it and run it again. So how do I... Right, so what I need to do is close it, pull it out, run it with nothing in. Right, so okay, it's not doing its send because we're in the incoming data. There is no incoming data if you're not connected. So we need to do a check in the main loop somehow. Right, okay. So that could never, it can do that bit, but it can never do this bit, because this will never happen. So we've got incoming data, so could that go anywhere else? Let me just answer the door, give me a second. The door has answered itself. So we've got an outgoing data loop. So we're sending it. But, well, you'll never get a check back, will you? You won't get a response back. Unless there's something there to give you a response. So, yeah. Chicken and egg, egg and chicken. So you can't have a response if there's nothing to respond. But what it can do is tell you if it's the right radio. So in that case, if it can't respond with the cable unplugged, let me just run it again. So it's never gonna, unfortunately I put data in there, so I wrote COM8 in. So we're not, yeah, so I don't know, so it can't be connected. It's not lit, but it's still showing you what it's trying to connect to at least, but it's not connected. This is showing the radio when it should be question marks. Right, so it's my own fault. I probably put in the name. Yeah, so it should put question mark, question mark, question mark, question mark, question mark, question mark. Is that enough question marks? Yeah. Okay, let's run it up again. I'm getting fed up now. You get this little bit working and then that'll be it. So we got question mark. We're on COM8 because we've give it a COM port in the past. Right, so it's not connected. There's no receive. There's 100%. We're on 20 frames per second. We've not lost anything because, although yeah, we can't connect. We can't send anything because we're not connected. So I put it back in. It won't do an auto reconnect. I've got to build that in. I've got some code that does that in another program. That'll automatically. It's got an event on there that looks at the the ports in the device manager. It sees a new one. It'll try to connect. So we've got to put that in, but not today. That's the next stage. Right, let's just have a look, see if everything is honky-dory. So we got the FT891. We've got a match. Did we actually do a compare? We did do a compare, didn't we? And we're on COM8 and we're going for it. Well, I think that's it. Let's just check the thumbnail. Let's just upload this to GitHub. Commit ID check. Oof, there's a fly in here. Right, that'll do. Push it. Push it up. Go on in. Is it gone? Yeah. I'll do a resync. It should be all exactly the same. Let's open the door and then there's a little tiny fruit fly or something coming in here. Right. Okay, that'll do. I need to do some more diagnostics. So, did we finish what we said we were going to do? Let's have a look. Missed packet, percentage, and a rig ID check. Yeah, so we've got more going on over here now. Anyway, that is literally going to be it. Thanks for watching, and hopefully this time we can finish the live stream off. Last time it got cut off. Apologies for that. Got cut off a bit early. About 10 or 12 minutes early. I was talking to myself for a bit. No change there really. Yeah. Anyway, yeah, so we've put a bit more into it. That'll be it for tonight. Thanks for watching and bye bye.
Just find the right place in the program, make the appropriate change, and we'll run the whole thing again.
Speech is still very complicated. Music is simpler.
Is that a question?
Yes.
The question is futile.
My interpretation of the data leaves little room for error. The art of leadership is delegation.
That information is not available.
This constitutes all available data.
You know what they say. No good deed goes unpunished.